and you're quoting from the Catholic Catechism, 2358, speaking about the homosexual person, and it says they do not choose their homosexual condition. For most of them, it is a trial.
And it goes on to say they must be accepted with respect, compassion, and sensitivity. Every sign of unjust discrimination in this regard should be avoided. These persons are called to fulfill God's will in their lives, and if they are Christians, to unite to the sacrifice of the Lord's cross, the difficulties that they may encounter.
That I find is so beautiful. That quotation from the Catholic Church, it says they do not choose their homosexual condition. For most of them, it is a trial, and it is true, right? They recognize it as they're growing up. They didn't choose it. They didn't come, formed in the womb and say, I want to be same sex, to be attracted to the same. They didn't,
In fact, anyone that I have spoken to, and I've had many young people in counseling rooms over the years, it has been a bitter pill for them when they've had to name their reality. It has been a very bitter pill, and it has been a trauma, and I would say in every instance there's been so much angst over the fact of their difference and over the fact of how are they going to cope with this, and over the fact of coming to a truth about themselves and their attraction.
Wonderful.
And that angst is what I think people don't understand, and I think people don't hear it. And therefore, that's why the discrimination should be avoided. These people are called to fulfill God's will in their lives. And they are Christians, if they are Christians, to unite with the sacrifice of the Lord. And they are part of our church community. And I'm making the point, the same way that we have people in civil unions as part of our church community, we also will have people who are attracted to the same sex as part of our church community. And what are we supposed to do? Love and lead them to Christ and help them to live a life that is full and rich and dignified, and a life of sacrifice and grace. That's what we're supposed to do. And if we understand that, then we start to understand that the church really is a big tent and a family of families that has to be able to incorporate many more people into this tent. We have to make place for all different kinds of people. We have to do it. And remember, we're holding two sides. And saying that on the one hand, we also have to say that there is a truth. And the truth is that to sin is to miss the mark. And the image here is the archer and the target. So if the target is in this direction, and I pointed my bow over in that direction, I'm going to miss the mark. And so the understanding of sin is the understanding of missing the mark. So if in my sexual life I am missing the mark, then okay, then I recognize myself as a sinner. What do? I come back to Christ, I ask for mercy, and I come before him asking for grace again, and for the healing power of the sacrament and the balm of healing that the sacrament brings, the sacrament of reconciliation. And if I understand that, then I understand that, I am called by God to live grace with God. And that's what I ought to be putting my whole life towards.